Hello everyone, I want to share a video tribute to my dad whom I lost about a month ago. Even if you didn't know him, I hope this video captures some of the joy he brought to others. I'm also planning to visit the village where he grew up to release a balloon in his memory.
This is the balloon I have prepared for my father. I wrote Tsetse inside the heart. This is my favorite picture of me and my dad. I should probably enlarge this one and put it in a frame. I think it was taken in 2010. Perhaps the most difficult thing in life is to say goodbye to a loved one. And I lost my father on February the 17th.
I don't want to get into too many details, but in the month or two leading up to my dad's passing, his health really took a turn for the worse. The last month in particular was challenging. We found ourselves going in and out of the hospital, and even when we were at home, I was calling for an ambulance almost every day.
I am at the village of Galabnik. This is where my father grew up, and at the age of 14 he moved to Sofia. But after this we used to come quite regularly. We built a house and we used to come during the weekends, and when my father retired he spent quite a few years over here working in the garden and being among nature. So behind me you can see the village. I'll try to show you a bit of the village later on. And the village is surrounded by two forests. One is on the other side and one is just behind the camera. And I thought that this is probably the most appropriate place to release a balloon in his as a tribute to him. So over here, this is the balloon. I wrote Tsetse. Of course, I used to call him Daddy, and Tsetse was a short name from his name Tsvetan.
This balloon stands for all the love and memories that mean so much to me. As I let it go, I'm sending my love and gratitude up into the sky, knowing that my dad will always be with me in my heart. My father's village Galabnik is situated in the Pernik region, about 40 kilometers away from Sofia. During the Turkish invasion, the village was called Musibek. Currently, there are about 217 people living in Galabnik, but I think that number might not be up to date. When I visited, it felt quiet and empty, and I was surprised to see how many houses looked like they were about to fall apart. It seems like the village has lost its energy and liveliness. What you just saw was the school where my father went as a kid. Coming up is the central square of the village, the spot for all the weddings and events. The building across the square used to have a sweet shop and a grocery store with a DIY shop on the second floor. On the left was a restaurant, and on the right is the building of the post office. Sadly, everything is closed now, the DIY shop, the restaurant, and I'm not quite sure about the post office.
So over here, this used to be a bakery where everyone came to buy homemade bread. I actually remember doing that when I was in my teens. I used to come and get some bread from here, and it was so delicious that by the time I reached home, half of it was gone.
Do you see the house across from here? It's made from mud, just like the one my granddad built. I also noticed many houses and buildings that look on the verge of collapse. I was a bit shocked because this is not the way I remember the village. We are now approaching the main spot where people gather to collect drinking water. Just up ahead is the location where my granddad used to have a shop that produced boza, Turkish desserts, lollipops, and other treats. An interesting fact about the place where people used to gather for water is that it was once a key spot for young folks. This is where young men and women would meet up and start flirting. Whenever they ran into each other, it was a great opportunity to chat and get to know one another. It really highlights how dating was a lot simpler and more personal back then. Next, I want to show you our old house, the first one on the right. My dad hired an architect to design it, and it turned out to be a beautiful countryside home. The place next door used to belong to my uncle, and the path between the two houses leads to the one my grandfather built. I wish I could take you there. Unfortunately, my father sold the house about 5 years ago, and I don't feel comfortable to approach the property. I'm going to wrap up this video with some clips I have gathered over the last 3 years. They aren't in any particular order. Some were taken before my father's stroke in 2023, and some were taken after. But despite all the challenges we faced, we had a lot of fun together and created a special bond that will always inspire me.
Daddy was very good with English, but now he hasn't practiced in a while, so sometimes he puts a Bulgarian word in between. Yes?
No.
But I remember he was reading books in English. He was taking all the words that he doesn't know, writing them down and trying to learn them, and that was in his late 60s. We just finished with the hospital, and now we are on the way to the restaurant to have a soup, a tripe soup, which is my dad's favorite. Is it nice?
Чакай да не е мухата.
Не муха. Пипер. Is it nice, Daddy?
Yeah.
Тук се вижда реката по-хубаво. Really nice fruits in Bulgaria during the summer. Кой е номер едно? Кой?
Анджела.
Анжела.
Whenever Dad and I solved a tough problem together, like getting the wheelchair to the park, despite the bad infrastructure, I would jokingly ask him, "Who is the champ?" It was our way of celebrating our success.
Give me 5. Дай 5. Come, come, come. This is a video. This is the video.